Hola chicos y chicas, it's Senora AD here. I'm just giving you a brief overview of my course layout. That way you know where to find things when you need to look for them, that sort of thing. As you notice here, I am just signed into my first period class. I just signed in as one of my students here, so that's why there's this little box up here, but you would not have that box normally. Just a reminder, if you forgot about what it looks like for the course layout, obviously you should be able to see your period here. You could hover over courses. It would populate all of your courses that you have. You'll notice that I have a lot of my courses might look different than yours because I teach versus yours might have all your different classes. Obviously materials, that's your home page for the course. That's what you're going to see for everything here. Updates, I'll use that quite a bit when I want to send out an announcement to everybody and I need to do it very quickly. I will a lot of times will also use Remind as well, but I use updates too if it's still going on for the class or the course. Grades, that's where you can check your current grades that are in Schoolgy. Always, always, always please make sure you look at your grades in Q, because that is what your official grade is going to be. That's what's going to go on your transcripts. We don't usually do attendance or anything like that. And then everything else here is just extra apps that we'll eventually talk about and go through as you see here. One thing you'll need to know that's big about my class that might be different from other classes. Some classes, how they lay out the course might be by weeks, although I do have a weekly plan and I'll talk about that. My resources, my folders, my activities are all based off of chapters and or units. So for example, for this class right here, you'll see there's already several folders populated. I don't have anything due right now, or it would populate here in the reminders and the upcoming assignments, but just as an idea. So you'll see all these folders. The first folder that everybody should have on their course layout on the materials page would be the weekly plans, and that's where you're going to go to on a weekly, daily basis when you enter the course is what the plans are for that week. So if I click on that here, you'll notice that there's already a plan for this coming week. So I can click on that. Right now it's just still loading in document in process. That's no big deal. But in theory, if I open that up, give me just a minute. Alright, so I just opened up that document plan. You'll notice what it says here. It'll tell you what the course is, the class, and the week that it's for. This is where you want to go every single time because it's going to give you everything for the most part we're going to do for that week. I don't base it off of day 1, day 2. I mean, I can, but I find that I don't necessarily think of that. I don't plan that way, so I try to work it within what you guys need and what I need. So obviously there's going to be reminders about the course and about things specifically for Doherty. It's going to remind you about attendance. Here will always be what they call the video overview, where you can click on it and it'll be me recording just kind of the overall objectives, what's going on for this week overall in the class. Obviously I have learning objectives here, so objetivos de aprendizaje. And then el plan de la semana, el horario, the plan of the week, the agenda. So here it'll give you an idea of what I currently have planned for each day. That can change throughout the week. If we only get to step 2 of day 1 or part 2 of day 1, then obviously that's going to get pushed to day 2, everything else. So you just want to make sure you're aware of that. If there's any resources here, you're going to be able to access it there. And for example, these are hyperlinks, so you can click on everything. Then I have tareas, which are assignments or your homework. They could be stuff that's done in class and I'll give you class time to do, or it might be stuff that you'll need to do on your own. And you'll notice that I say see Schoolgy for the actual due dates, because depending on the class, it might be different for each group. Activities and practice are color coded. So if they're blue, they're activities and practices. Notes are going to be in a purple color, like if we need to take notes. Orange will be assessments, so if I need you to take a quiz, or there might be an actual performance assessment, that will be in there. And then any communicative activities are going to be in green. So for example, we have 2 communicative activities. Those are getting to know you, so we're going to be speaking, talking, and then we have some basic house cleaning, surveys, activities, that sort of thing. Finally, on my plan or my HyperDoc, I have a questions location. So if you have questions about this week's plan, or there's some issues with the links that I provided or anything like that for this plan this week only, you want to fill out this form. And that link right here on the form will send you to a form that you will fill out, and that I'll give me information, then I get notification of it. I always recommend you sign up for Remind. I highly recommend you download the app and add the following class codes, or you could text the following class code above to 81010. Finally, at the very bottom, I have what's called Mirando Adelante, which is looking ahead. So it says here, look here for upcoming assessments, projects, topics. So if I know like this is the time frame I'm looking at for it to be being done, or we're going to take an assessment during this week, I'll put it up there. If there's grades, like for example, right now grades will be updated weekly. And then obviously I have office hours. Here for me, for example, if you are wanting one-on-one time frame, I'm going to ask you to sign up through what's called MS Bookings, which is part of Microsoft. You just put in your information, you select me as the teacher, and it gives you the time frames that I'm available on Wednesdays to help out. And then of course there's always my email down here below that you can copy and paste and send an email to me. So there we go for that. Going back into Schoolgy, obviously you're going to see the weekly plans. That's the first place you're going to go to. There's also going to be a folder called Resources. And inside that Resources folder, there might be a variety of different things for you to look at, to reference to. The World Language Department created what's called the Ultimate World Language Student Guide, which gives you a variety of different quick, easy access to things that are online, that are hyperlinked, so you don't have to constantly look for everything. It's just a one-stop shop. I will also put in videos or links for walkthroughs for other things we might be using in the class that maybe other teachers may not be using, and that's totally fine. But that's where you would find that here in the purple resources folder. Finally, you're going to find after that will be all the actual assignments based off of theme or topic. So for example, again, I don't do necessarily assign a folder for each week, and that's the assignments that you do. Because again, if we don't get to that assignments during that week, then I have to move folders around and assignments, and that's just really confusing. But you would look at this folder, and again, if you were back on my plan, I would tell you in the plan for the week where to find that information. For example, in this particular plan, in the beginning of the year folder, you would find these assignments to do. All right. With that being said, here's an example of when we get back into normal, like teaching Spanish and whatnot, and learning Spanish. Obviously, we have a unit, and then we have 2 chapters in that unit. Some classes might just have what they call lecciones, which are lessons, and that lessons is just a really large lesson that's not divided or anything like that, just keeps going. So I hope that helps you out. If you have questions, if you need me to update or add anything to this video, please let me know. Again, send me an email, or you can use the form link in the plan, in the hyperlink doc, to send me that information as well. Gracias, adios.